3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading number 1193. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting the subscribe button down below and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome, and thank you very much for your support, as well as your presence during this reading. So, someone here might be struggling to express themselves or to use their voice, which I think is interesting because what we're going to talk about with the number 3 in 1193. I'm laughing because as soon as I was about to start talking about the number 1s, I saw 111 on the timer. So there is quite a bit of encouragement in this reading already for you to have trust and faith. And as I often say, this could be about having trust and faith in yourself, the universe, another person, another situation, what's possible for you, what you're capable of. It's just encouragement here for you to trust your intuition, trust your instincts, and have faith in your strength. And as I already said before, what is possible for you. Number 9 is about purpose and helping the world release what no longer works. So if you already feel a sense of purpose or are feeling called to let go of someone or something to honor a sense of purpose, I really encourage you to have trust and faith in that deeper meaning that you sense or feel or have defined for yourself. This could also be encouragement for you to seek out a sense of purpose in who you are, your experiences, this life, this reality. And you may find a purpose in letting go. You know, things like loss, pain, grief, suffering. You may find a sense of purpose in the darkness by learning how to turn that darkness into light, pain into healing, confusion into clarity. I just saw 3, 2, 1 on the timer. That's encouragement for you to trust that everything happens for a reason, which I think the timing is interesting. That really makes me think that there really is somebody here who feels the encouragement to find deeper meaning. And with that message about trusting that everything happens for a reason, which I just saw 3, 4, 5, another sign about that same message. Saw it on the timer, by the way. I like to mention that this reason and that idea to trust everything happens for a reason, you can define it for yourself by looking inward for the answers that you need. You could ask the universe to show that reason to you, or you could simply just allow yourself to have trust and faith without feeling like you have to know everything to do so. I also often like to say that you don't have to know every step of the way, every step forward, to know that you're going in the right direction. It feels like there's a real focus here on your intuition. What is it telling you? Where is it guiding you? And how can you trust it more? How Would you have more faith in it? Now the number 3, that number is about using your voice and expressing yourself, or taking an opportunity to heal and to grow, or to commit to always taking that opportunity to heal and grow. And in the beginning I did mention how somebody might be struggling to express themselves. So I really encourage you to really better understand where that struggle is coming from. And if it's coming from fear, it's really important for you to discern if that fear is trying to protect you genuinely, or if it's just trying to limit you and not allowing you to live with courage and ultimately freedom. Adding up these numbers, 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 plus 9 is 11, 11 plus 3 is 14, and 1 plus 4 is 5. And the number 5 is about change or transformation or some sort of transition. So this could be confirmation of someone or something that you're feeling called to let go, to honor a sense of purpose, or for some other reason. Something here is changing, has changed, or needs to change. It could be a certain way that your mindset, a certain way of thinking or feeling or believing, or something in your environment. Something on the inside has to change, or something on the outside, and it could even be both, but change is significant here regardless. And maybe this could be an opportunity for you to learn how to be more comfortable with change, and the idea that that is the only constant in life. The idea of change. Cell number 654, by the way. Don't know if I already mentioned it, but that is also about trusting that everything happens for a reason. Overall, this number, 1193, has encouraged you to have trust and faith, especially in a sense of purpose, or at least in the idea of seeking out a sense of purpose. There could be someone or something or some sort of change, or someone or something that needs to be let go to create some sort of change in your life, an important change. It's important that you use your voice, you express yourself, and take every opportunity that you can get to heal, to find closure, and to grow, both personally in a practical way, but also collectively in a spiritual way. So there are a couple of decks of cards on the table. We have the Secrets of Tarot cards, and these are just index cards that I made myself. And I'm just going to start with drawing out one of these tarot cards. The name Marcel, maybe those are significant names. For me personally, it's making me think of that monkey from the TV show Friends. Maybe there's a significant spirit guide that is an animal, which could be a monkey, or there's something significant about a friendship or a living situation. Let's go ahead and draw out one of these tarot cards to, look deeper into the kind of messages that you really need right now. Okay, so this is the King of Swords in reverse. This also, for some reason, made me feel connected to the Knight of Swords, which is less mature than a king. But upright, this card has a lot of things written on it. I wrote analytical, logical, calm, smart, truth, stern, clarity. There's also the zodiac signs of the Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, and the element of air. The artist of this deck wrote man over 25 years. You don't have to be a man, and you don't have to be over 25 years old, but if that does resonate for you, this could be extra confirmation that this reading is meant for you. There's also brown eyes and brown hair. And it says cold, abrasive, and demands respect. And this was in reverse. This definitely represents a person, and could be representative of yourself or somebody else, or just a certain type of character in a general sense. The Knight of Swords in reverse is everything that the Knight of Swords upright is not. In reverse, this king is illogical. You know, they don't really fight for the truth. There's a sense of confusion here, maybe about one's worth or something else. This is somebody who can be manipulative. You know, they kind of treat truth and honesty like it's an option. And this doesn't necessarily have to be in a malicious sense. Some people just... I have a hard time understanding how, but I do know that some people just don't see honesty as something really important when it comes to having integrity. And I do believe that, you know, we can't always be honest. Sometimes we have to lie to protect ourselves or our future or other people or something that we care about. I do think that honesty should be the default, but there are exceptions. Exceptions. But as I said, maybe there's something here that you're not being honest with yourself about, or somebody's not being honest with you. They're being kind of manipulative. Hey, you could even be manipulating or gaslighting yourself. You know, making yourself feel guilty when you shouldn't, or telling yourself something isn't true when some part of you knows it is. You know, those are just a couple of examples. Or this could be in a more general sense, encountering these kinds of people who are dishonest. I personally believe that being honest, honoring the truth, these things are going to protect you. I just saw 4, 5, 6. It seems that there is something here about protection and the truth, and, you know, how those are connected for a reason. I actually do have this general belief, like the way that the universe works, when you lead with truth and honesty, most and foremost for yourself, being honest with yourself, somehow it's just, it really does protect you. I'm not entirely sure how it doesn't work, or how it works, because I'm not the universe, so I don't know that much. But let's go ahead and draw out a couple of these index cards to really get more detail and better understand what this King of Swords really is about. I do want to mention that, because I felt connected to the Knight, there is a sense of immaturity here. First index card, it says, I feel stuck and blocked. Yeah, that kind of makes sense with the King of Swords, if I'm being honest. The last one, your Spanish and Portuguese ancestors are trying to connect with you. So this feeling stuck and blocked, be feeling stuck because there is not enough honesty. Someone here is not being honest, or they're not really seeing things clearly. It does feel like there's some sort of illusion making somebody feel stuck or blocked, like something that feels real but isn't. You know exactly how an illusion works. I mean, maybe it's difficult, but there could be just a genuine need to be honest with yourself, or for somebody else to be honest with you, or to just generally protect yourself from dishonest people. And when people are dishonest, I think it matters more what they're dishonest about and why, than just the idea of being dishonest itself. So maybe you could take this opportunity to better understand yourself and see if your reasoning really aligns with you, or, you know, in a moral sense or in some other way. Maybe somebody else. You could try to understand somebody else better by trying to understand their dishonest nature. But I would say be careful with that, because, I mean, who knows if they're telling the truth? And who knows why they're really allowing you in? You know, there could very much be somebody here who is manipulative and dishonest and very selfish. Maybe they struggle to control their anger, and this could be a call for you to protect yourself from this person. And with the idea of ancestors here, protection could definitely be a big thing. And I do associate ancestors with the number 444. And you associate the idea of protection with the number 444. Maybe there's something here about your stability, your security, your sense of safety. Just a real need, actually, to protect yourself. And you could have Spanish or Portuguese ancestors in particular who are trying to encourage you to protect yourself. You yourself could be Spanish or Portuguese. Or, you know, it could be very distant, ancient ancestors that you're somehow connected to, that, I don't know how old Spain or Portugal are. But you just take that however it resonates for you. The idea that Spanish and Portuguese ancestors are trying to connect with you. And if they're not Spanish or Portuguese, it could just be a very, very general message. And the Spanish and Portuguese part is just more specific for whoever needs it. But, yeah, this reading overall has encouraged you to trust yourself. You know, just have trust and faith in general. It could even be about having trust and faith in the universe. And I want to say it could be about having trust and faith in another person or a certain situation, but it's been very clear for somebody that it's less about having trust and faith in somebody else and more about having these feelings towards yourself so that you can protect yourself. If you are feeling driven by a sense of purpose, to let go of someone or something, to honor a sense of purpose, this is your confirmation. This could even be confirmation for you to seek out a sense of purpose or deeper meaning, or just, you know, genuinely trying to understand the spiritual nature of your own existence, certain experiences you had, just this life. There were messages as well for you to be honest. You know, using your voice, expressing yourself. There needs to be more communication in a situation, it feels like. And this could be about communicating with yourself and just better understanding your own thoughts and feelings and beliefs. But there could definitely be another person involved as well. There just needs to be more communication. And regardless of where this communication goes, there is an opportunity to heal and to grow. It feels like there needs to be some sort of change, though, or transition, transformation. This could be an internal change, changing your perspective, your feelings, a belief, or it could be a situation letting go of a person or something else. or making changes in a specific relationship. It doesn't necessarily have to be about letting go. And it doesn't have to be about a relationship either. Just something needs to change. The cards on the table are highlighting somebody here who is not as honest as I think that they should be, and it's creating a blockage. And ancestors are coming through, calling for you to protect yourself and to make sure that you are prioritizing stability, your own safety, your security, your peace. I actually think that being honest, embracing the truth, is what really provides a lot of stability, because with truth, you can't change what is, but with a lie, that can change. The narrative can change. And I did see the number 222 on the timer, so that is confirmation of a significant relationship or situation on your mind right now. And it's definitely confirmation or guidance for you to be wise with your choices. And I do see this as a message about protection too, protecting your time, your energy, your peace, your resources. Just do what you need to do, choose what you need to choose to protect yourself in a certain relationship or a certain situation, or to protect your future. And this doesn't have to mean that there is somebody else who is intentionally malicious or anything. Just be wise moving forward.